ammunition. Well, joining us virtually to make more sense of the stories is Mazi Amobi Hebrew, a public affairs analyst. You're welcome, Amobi. Can you unmute your mic, please, so we can hear you clearly? And you're welcome to News Hour. Can you unmute your mic, Amobi? Just unmute your device so we can hear you clearly. Can you hear me? All right, why don't we take a short break? We'll fix this and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Extraordinary. Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. Good morning. It's the start of a beautiful day. Or start your day right with a healthy dose of news, fun, and inspiration. Join us on VOP this morning for the latest news, trending topics, and uplifting stories to set your day on the right vibe. From news and current events to lifestyle and entertainment, you are covered. VOP this morning, 8 a.m., Monday through Friday.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
Mental and social well-being of an individual. It's the fundamental right of everyone to enjoy the highest attainable standard of health without distinction of race, religion, or political belief. On VOP TV, we bring you Health Check, a show that x-rays different health issues and provides solutions with the help of experts in the medical field. Join us every Saturday, 2 p.m. on Health Check. Health Check on VOP TV. Your health, our priority.
welcome back, everyone. Apologies for that protracted break. We're trying to reconnect with Mr. Mobi as soon as we're able to, but we'll get him back. Now, 12 suspected kidnappers and 1 informant have been arrested in a coordinated security operation carried out across parts of Kogi and Kwara states. This was disclosed on Wednesday by the Kogi State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fanwo, in a press statement made available to the media in Lokoja. He stated that the suspects were apprehended during a series of raids jointly conducted by the hybrid force from the Office of the National Security Advisor and officers and men of the Forward Operating Base, Egbe. The statement identified the suspected kidnappers as Menasara Abubakar, Sadiq Abubakar, Jude Sani, Sanda Abubakar, Lawali Usman, Tukuru Shehu, Hassan Abubakar, Kabiru Suraju, Makiri Dodo, Bala Hassan, Maru Sanda, and Ruwa Abubakar. Also arrested was Rabiu Makiri, who is believed to be an informant for the gang. Well, in another development, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has destroyed 491,000 tablets of tramadol. Each packet contains 100 tablets, 10 sachets with 10 tablets each, making it 491,000 tablets of the total rolls, valued at 91 million naira. The destruction exercise took place at Kanu Teaching Hospital using an incinerator. Yesufu Idris, Deputy Controller, Enforcement Nigeria Customs Service, NCS, Kanu Jigawa Command, said the agency, headed by Controller Abubakar Zurmi, intercepted the drugs on May 28 and handed over the consignment to NAFDAC. He said the medicine, which is for treatment, was being smuggled in large quantities into the country to be sold to drug abusers, thereby worsening the nation's security challenge. For her part, Director General NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, has said the operation demonstrates excellent interagency collaboration and strategic partnership aimed at strengthening control measures and curbing the menace of illicit drug trade.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand.
Joining us now virtually to make more sense of these stories is Mazi Amobi Ihegboro. He is a public affairs analyst, and we are so glad to have reconnected with you finally. Thanks for joining us.
So sorry about the glitch.
It's fine. There's no problem at all. It happens. Now, so President Bola Tinubu has written to the Senate seeking confirmation of Professor Yusuf Mohammed Yusuf as the commissioner of the Nigerian Law Reform Commission. Right? I don't know if you will say this is a perfect description of a round peg in a round hole? I'm talking about the Professor Mohammed Yesufu now.
Yeah, I don't want to jump into conclusions because
Okay.
appointment is one thing, and doing the job is yet another thing. We have seen round pegs in round holes, but when they are appointed, there's this myth or this mystery surrounding public offices, and public officers. You, from outside, from a distance, you understand what you want to do, but when you get there, I wouldn't call it bureaucracy. I don't know, because sometimes some people say there is a spirit in Aso Rock, for instance. I'm not saying Professor Yesufu is going to work in Aso Rock. So appointments is one thing, and then doing the job is yet another thing. I think we'll give him chance, we'll give him opportunity to see the stuff he's made of.
All right, that's very well said. You know that thing you said about a spirit being in Aso Rock? On-air personality Reuben Abati, who was once a presidential spokesperson, after he came out of Aso Rock, said that place is haunted, really. It was a major, write-up that he did. Now, there's a twist to this particular story. Professor Yesufu is actually nominated to replace Professor Fatima Alkali, who was initially nominated, but she deliberately failed to appear before the screening for confirmation. Would you say that that was her giving a thumbs down to this administration? She just refused to show up. That's a blatant rejection, would you say, of this appointment?
Ordinarily, when you are appointed to such positions, you should be very, very happy. People around you also should be very happy, that you finally appeased all contending forces, that you're able to be appointed. But when you reject, it speaks volume. It speaks volume of the appointment, it speaks volume of the person that was appointed and all that. So I think if Akali was, very enthusiastic about the appointment, you should have turned it down.
All right.
I think there is much to it that
absolutely. There must be more to it than meets the eye. And as this particular event unfolds, we'll keep the viewer posted. Let's move on now. So the founding fathers of the People's Democratic Party have called for the party's 2027 presidential ticket to be allocated to the South, right? This thing about zoning is big deal. And the PDP is saying that if there must be peace in this party that seems to be, in tatters at the moment, there must be consideration now, and that the presidential ticket must be allocated to the South. What do you make of this?
Once bitten, twice shy. That is it. Because this was their bane in 2023. They should have done the correct thing, but they refused flagrantly from doing the right thing. And the thing has haunted them so much. So if they have decided in 2027 to zone their presidential ticket to the South, so be it. Because this was the problem with PDP in 2023. When, against all odds, Atiku Abubakar came up, said he wanted to run. A committee was set up to zone the presidential ticket, headed by Otom, the former governor of Benue State. The committee came out to say that the thing should be free for all. Against all odds, the chairmanship of the political party was already in the north, seated. But within the primaries, a lot of things changed. Abubakar Atiku clinched the presidential ticket, which made people like Wike to now say, no, this is a breach of their constitution. Again, somehow they said, okay, Atiku unilaterally picked P2B in 2029 as his vice presidential candidate. But this time around, that he should democratize it. He himself said he wants to democratize it. Consequently, 19-member panel was, constituted to help him pick a VP. From reports, as at that time, 15 out of that 19 rooted for Yesufu and all that. But he now left Yesufu and picked Ifeanyi. That was the bane of PDP crisis. And the rest is now history. So if they now want to do the right thing, it's still not too bad, not too late to begin to correct themselves. So I think it is the odds favors the South this time around, as presidential election comes very handy. That is an advice to the coalition, the ADC. It's an advice. What happened to PDP in 2020 they should take this thing very seriously, because Muhammad Buhari, as an unwritten agreement we have in this country, has done his 8 years. The South should be able to do their 8 years, and the power returns to the North in 2023. If you want to play around these sensitive issues, you will have your hands burnt as if you are politically. So it's a welcome development, but I sympathize with PDP because they have been politically bruised. It will take time for them to come out of these woods.
All right. Former Senate President Bukola Saraki seems to think that the PDP can be restored, right, or resuscitated to life, if you will. But this is what he's saying, right? He's criticizing recent defections from his party, the PDP, saying that those leaving for the African Democratic Congress, that's the big coalition party now that's the talk of town, and the ruling All Progressives Congress, which has basically most of the South-South governors, he said they are all doing so out of anger rather than strategic thinking. Do you think former Senate President Bukola Saraki is really reading the situation correctly? Is it all about anger and not strategic thinking?
When Omo Eno of Akwa Ibom State decamped, part of the reason he gave was that he wanted a second term. And if he doesn't move, his second term agenda may be scuttled. So what are we talking about here? Is strategic thinking from a more honest perspective. I do not. You see, politicians can say one thing in the day, and at night they will say another thing. How are we sure that Bukola Saraki is not one leg in, one leg out? Because politicians everywhere in Nigeria, do not like they are like fish. They don't like getting out of water. Once a politician goes, is not gravitating around power or within the corridors of power, they feel so threatened. Go and check politicians that have left in 2023. This is just about 2 years, and they are not in any arrangement, any appointment and all whatnot. Go and check their lifestyle. So that is why the desperate move to be somewhere at any point in time, that desperate move hit up the politics, as it were. So I think Bukola Saraki may be right in one aspect, but with what is on ground, as a matter of fact, I think PDP will have it very, very, very difficult. Just about 2-3 days ago, 4 of their members in the Senate defected to the All Progressive Congress. So what does that speak to you? Many more. We also hear that many more governors are going. All these things are, hitting hard on the structures of PDP. So where lies the survival nature of PDP in 2027? It is yet to be seen. But if they can stop the hemorrhage, political hemorrhage that is besieging them, many people, if you can, the few governors that are available now, if they can put them together, they will help them to make an impact. But whether PDP will, torpedo the APC in this 2027 coming up, the election, I do not think it is possible. Because already the role of PDP as the main opposition party has been sourced out to ADC.
All right. That's a very safe place for us to land. And thank you so much for joining us on news today. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Again, let us also let us advise the federal government, despite of collecting loans are becoming too worrisome. When will all these loans be paid? Where are they channeling it? We learned they want to pay pensions and all that.
You know,
who are going to pay this loan?
You know,
as at when will this?
That's $1 billion question, but this was a subject we trashed out extensively on the bulletin just yesterday. But we appreciate you bringing that up again. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. So I have been speaking with Amobi Iheburo. He is a public affairs analyst. Well, you're still watching news on VOP TV. We'll be right back after this short break.
Encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. TV, Voice of the People Television.
Welcome back. Now, Nigerians have been urged to guard against fake news and misinformation by verifying information before publication, a call that underscores the vital role of professional journalists. This message took center stage at the Lateef Jakonde Annual Memorial Lecture, a colloquium organized by the Nigerian Guild of Editors to honor the first civilian governor of Lagos State who served from 1979 to 1983. VOP TV's Matthew Ogunswada reports.
Officials, journalists, and members of the Nigerian Guild of Editors for the annual Lateef Jakonde Memorial Lecture. With the theme, Journalism and the Challenges of Nation Building in a Multi-Ethnic Society, the event spotlighted the legacy of the first civilian governor of Lagos, Alhaji Lateef Jakonde, also known as Baba Kekere, who ruled from 1979 to 1983. The special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, alongside other key stakeholders, stressed the vital role of journalism in promoting order and unity in a diverse nation like Nigeria.
We need to really enforce the rules that govern our profession. If you get any piece of information, check. Is it correct? If it's not correct, don't run with it. Don't say because somebody has written it, it's a gospel. You need to verify it, verify your information. I think just come across. If we keep writing fake news all over the place, one day, with our pen, we will set our country on fire.
As journalists, we occupy a unique and strategic position. We have the power to influence narrative, shape opinion, and promote national values.
Delivering the keynote address, Governor Baba-Ahmed of Bauchi State, represented by Dr. Aminu Hassan, emphasized the need for media literacy in addressing national issues, while other speakers called for a value-driven media landscape.
Journalists must not only write truths, they must live it, like all of us. The veterans must mentor, the institutions must reform, and we must invest in civic education, media literacy, and training that equips the next generation with not just tools, but with a mission.
If only those who hold power begin to hold it with simplicity, begin to hold it with a sense of responsibility to the people, to society, then things will be better for our country.
There are no citizen doctors, there are no citizen lawyers, there cannot be citizen journalists. You are either a journalist or you are a hacker.
The media has paid the steepest price to nation building, for nation building in this country called Nigeria. There is no other segment of the society that we have today that has paid the price that we have paid and that we continue to pay.
The Lagos State Commissioner for Information, Benga Omotosho, joined other stakeholders in advocating for national consciousness, responsible journalism, the fight against fake news, and a return to the core values exemplified by the late Alhaji Lateef Jakonde.
People should know that technology is something that if we use, it will help humanity, and that if we misuse it, it's going to hurt humanity.
And nation building, it's clear that journalism can only thrive when truth is upheld, facts respected, and integrity remains non-negotiable. Matthew Oguswada, reporting for Voice of the People TV.
Well, Matthew, thank you. Coming up next, business, foreign, sports, and entertainment stories. After this short break, stay with us. Now, the Palestinian group Hamas has responded to an Israeli proposal for a 60-day truce in Gaza, proposing amendments to maps of areas from which the Israeli military should withdraw and guarantees on securing a permanent end to the war. Sources familiar with the matter said Hamas also proposed amendments regarding the entry of aid, asking that only UN agencies handle aid entry and distribution, excluding the United States and Israel-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. GHF aid distribution has been marred by scenes of chaos and bloodshed since it began operations in Gaza in late May, with over 1,000 Palestinians shot dead by Israeli forces as they waited to receive aid. The US and Israel-backed scheme bypasses the UN and has been slammed by the United Nations and humanitarian officials as a death trap. Hamas has also reportedly proposed including a clause in any ceasefire agreement that would require the immediate reopening of the Rafah border crossing between Gaza and Egypt in both directions once the ceasefire takes effect. Well, in France, President Emmanuel Macron and wife Brigitte say they are suing United States right-wing influencer Candace Owens for defamation. According to them, the influencer had claimed that Brigitte was male. The Macron's lawsuit in Delaware Superior Court alleged that Owens waged a campaign of global humiliation with lies. The 22-count complaint seeks unspecified damages, as the applicants also say the Owens lies include that 72-year-old Brigitte's birth name was Jean-Michel Trougneau. It added that the defendant's relentless bullying was to promote her podcast and expand her frenzied fan base. Every time the Macrons leave their home, I should say, they do so knowing that countless people have heard, and many believe these vile fabrications. The complaint said it is invasive, dehumanizing, and deeply unjust. It added the 22-count complaint also seeks an unspecified amount of compensatory and punitive damages. But business news is next. Well, the president and chief executive officer of Dangote Industries Limited, Aliko Dangote, has revealed that the group's petroleum refinery imports or imports about 9 to 10 million barrels of crude every month from the U.S. and other countries. This was made known by Dangote while delivering a keynote address at the ongoing West African Refined Fuel Conference held in Abuja. The event is organized by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, and S&P Global Commodity Insights. Dangote said that they have been buying crude oil from international trading companies which buy this commodity from Nigeria at very high premiums. Dangote also lamented that Africa is increasingly becoming a destination for cheap, often toxic petroleum products, many of which are blended to substandard levels that would not be permitted in Europe or North America. Meanwhile, the federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to positioning Nigeria as the marketing hub for refined petroleum products across West Africa. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Heineken Lokpobiri, stated this during a keynote address at the West African Refined Fuel Market Conference organized by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. Speaking at the conference with the theme Creating a West African Reference Market for Oil and Gas Products, the minister highlighted the government's strategic drive to support refineries or refiners, marketers and regulators in creating an enabling environment for seamless trading within the region. Lokpobiri, in a statement by his special advisor on media and communication, Onyemaka Okafor, said, quote, "Government's ambition is to ensure Nigeria becomes a center of refined product marketing in West Africa." End of quote. Well, sports news is next.
Now to some sports on the news hour with me, Jerry Apelahai. Super Falcons coach Justin Madugu believes his team deservedly made it to the final of the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations after beating South Africa 2-1 in the semi-finals. Madugu praised his team's performance, saying that they expected a tough game but were happy with the win. Rashida Tajibade scored the opening goal from a penalty, while Mitchell and Losers sealed the win with a stunning free kick in the 90th minute. The Super Falcons will now face host Morocco in the final on Friday. Madugu's team showed determination and skill throughout the tournament, and they are looking to win a record-extending 10th WAFCON title. The team's victory over South Africa was well-deserved, and they are confident about their chances in the final. The win was also celebrated by Nigerian President Bola Tinubu, who congratulated the Super Falcons on their victory. The team's journey to the final has been impressive, and they're looking to make history with a win in the tournament. Chelsea defender Tosin Adarabioyo, who is currently in Nigeria, says he's yet to make a decision on playing for the senior national team of Nigeria. Fresh from winning the Club World Cup with Chelsea, the 28-year-old visited Nigeria for the first time and will host a youth tournament in Lagos as his way of giving back to the country of his parents. Speaking during an interview on TV, Adarabioyo said he was taken aback by the hospitality received upon his arrival in Nigeria. On the issue of playing for Nigeria, which will come with the possibility of making the Super Eagles squad for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers in September, the defender, who has represented England at various youth levels, refused to openly commit to the cause. And that's it for sports on the News Hour with me, Jerry Apelai.
Jerry, thank you. Well, entertainment news is next.
Welcome to the entertainment segment. Grammy-winning Nigerian singer Temilade Okpeni, popularly known as Tems, has received Spotify's billion streams plaque for her hit collaboration with Future and Drake, Wait For You, which has surpassed 1 billion streams on the platform. With this milestone, Tems joined the rank of Afrobeat artists who have earned Spotify a billion plaque. Wait For You earned Tems her first Grammy in 2023, winning Best Melodic Rap Performance. The track also made history in 2022, with Tems becoming the first African artist to debut at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Moving on in entertainment, the Actor Guild of Nigeria has suspended actress Shirley Igwe indefinitely for allegedly assaulting a crew member during a film production in Lagos. The suspension was confirmed in a letter signed by the AGN National President, Emeka Rulas, on behalf of filmmaking regulatory bodies. The incident reportedly took place on Lagos film set, where Igwe allegedly slapped a crew member during an argument. The guild found her guilty of professional misconduct, violence, and indisciplined actions. It says violates the agent's code of conduct and risks tarnishing the reputation of the acting profession. The guild said it found actress guilty of professional misconduct, emphasizing that such behavior violates its code of conduct and could damage the reputation of the acting profession. In another development, Afrobeat star David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has paid tribute to his late son, Ifeanyi, nearly 3 years after the child's tragic death. Davido shared the emotional tribute in an heartfelt post on X. Ifeanyi passed away on October 31, 2022 in a swimming pool accident at the family's residence in Banana Island, Lagos. The Lagos state government confirmed that Davido and the child's mother, Choma Roland, were not home at the time of the incident. An autopsy later revealed that drowning was the cause of death. 8 domestic staff members were initially questioned, with 2 remaining under investigation as authorities continue to probe the circumstances of the tragedy. And that's all on the entertainment segment. Thanks for watching. I'm Oyindamola Olukusa.
Thank you. And that wraps it up for us, the news hour. But before we go, a quick look at the headlines. Tinubu seeks Senate confirmation of Law Reform Commissioner. Also, Senate okays 105 billion naira as 2025 budget for RMAFC. Speaker Abbas charges newly inaugurated committees on transparency. And Enugu governor appoints a new HOS and 6 commissioners in major shakeup. Parties woo Anambra electorate, and PDP founding fathers demand sudden transparent convention. Also, Saraki Islam's PDP defectors and says they are living out of anger, not strategy. On the foreign scene, Macron and wife sue influencer over claim First Lady was male. And business news, Lopobiri tips Nigeria to become West Africa's hub for refined petroleum products. And sports news, Tosin Sean's chance to play in September World Cup qualifiers. The world of entertainment, Tems enters Spotify Billion Streams Club. Do also subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV, and on other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. I am Vivian Oguche. Thank you for watching.